I am going to talk about stress, the allostatic load, and your body's overall desire to maintain homeostasis. Now, when we think about stress, there's a few definitions. So, the stimulus based definition is where stress is a demanding or threatening event or situation. So, like a high stress job or high stakes testing or, car accident, all of those are events. Now we respond to it. And so there's this response based definition. And that does emphasize the physiological responses that occur in response to demanding or threatening situations. So ultimately, your body really wants to make sure that you are maintaining homeostasis. And so homeostasis sees to it that body temperatures and water levels are kept within tolerable limits at all times within our body to maintain sort of that normalcy within our body. And so in animals like ourselves, that internal environment of our bodies must have certain conditions within it to tolerate within tolerable limits to continue the healthy functioning of us. And so this is done by a process called negative feedback control, where various receptors and effectors will bring about a reaction to ensure that such conditions will remain favorable, right? Um, and so this occurrence is known as the physiological homeostasis. And so we want our body to maintain this physical equilibrium. And so what happens is sort of we make sure that we maintain a healthy level of glucose in the bloodstream in order for us to meet the overall demands. And so when we are experiencing stress, we do have things like um, our neurotransmitters and other sort of hormone related experiences that are affected by the stress. And so we have this term allostasis or allostatic load, and that refers to the cumulative burden of chronic stress in life events. And so it involves the interaction of different physiological systems at a varying degrees of activity. And so when environmental challenges actually go far beyond the individual's ability to cope with those things, then that allostatic overload ensues. And so allostatic load is identified by the use of biomarkers and clinical criteria. And so when we think of the term allostasis, it is coined to clarify those ambiguities that are associated with this word stress. And so allostasis does refer to the adaptive processes that maintain homeostasis throughout the production of mediators, things like adrenaline, cortisol, and other chemical messengers. And so these mediators of that stress response really promote adaptation in the aftermath of acute stress, but they can contribute to that allostatic overload, that overall wear and tear of the body and the brain, and that results from being stressed out cumulatively. And so this framework has created a need to know how to improve the efficiency of the adaptive response to stressors while minimizing the overactivity of the same systems, because overactivity does result in a lot of the common chronic issues of a modern life. And you'll see all of the organs that are affected by experiencing chronic stress. I am going to talk about stress